Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says that Syrian militants now have the means to produce their own chemical weapons.
Militants are not only using chemical weapons, but they also have their own technological and manufacturing capacities to synthesize toxic substances for military purposes. They've established far-reaching channels to access chemical weapons precursors.
Well, Lavrov there made that statement during the latest UN Security Council meeting. RT's Caleb Morpin was following the session. He kindly joins us live from New York. Caleb, a bit of context, please, then, to the Foreign Minister's warning.
Yes, the Russian foreign minister is here in New York and attended the meeting of the United Nations Security Council. And in his remarks, he talked about how, while U.S. leaders continue to focus on accusations against the Syrian government, accusing them of maintaining chemical weapons, using chemical weapons, while that's the focus of the USA and Britain, it seems like forces on the ground, the insurgent groups that are fighting against the Syrian government, are increasing their ability to produce chemical weapons. This is Sergei Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, speaking before the UN Security Council.
The agenda is adopted.
Now, when we heard these remarks, this was in reference, we heard U.S. leaders and the leaders of Britain referencing the chemical attack in Khan Sheikhoun. Now, this took place last April, and immediately after the attack took place, without any investigation being carried out, immediately we heard the Syrian government being blamed for that attack. Now, as U.S. leaders immediately blamed the Syrian government, then we saw the joint investigative mechanism that was formed. The joint investigative mechanism went in to do its research, but it was pointed out by the Russian envoy at the Security Council at that time that at no point did the joint investigative mechanism actually visit the site of the chemical attack. This is the Russian envoy speaking before the council at that time.
It was Russia that vetoed 3 council resolutions that would have renewed the joint investigative mechanism. It is Russia that has gone to great lengths.
The US and the UK continue to manipulate the opinion of the UN Security Council and of the international community. They deliberately refuse to listen to us, and they twist our words and our stance. They falsely state that it was Russia that closed the joint investigative mechanism. And they forget to mention that it was Russia that proposed a resolution to enhance this mechanism and its impartiality. But they blocked it. We proposed this resolution because the previous joint investigative mechanism discredited itself by its mendacious report, which would fail to withstand the least scrutiny. So who blocked this resolution? The US and the UK, the same countries that now accuse us of closing the joint investigative mechanism. I want to tell you one thing. Stop playing games with the OPCW and show that you are ready to create an impartial and professional mechanism. At least if you really need cooperation and not just a pretext for political manipulations.
Now, the Russian foreign minister made a point of pointing out that on the ground in Syria, in areas controlled by the rebel groups, there is an increased production of chemical weapons currently taking place. Now, he made these remarks, but we did hear the same rhetoric from the USA and from Britain focusing on the Syrian government, not on the proliferation of chemical weapons by anti-government fighters.
Yeah, just a quick apology to you there, Caleb. The sound bites we were playing a little bit mixed up there. But do you know what? Our viewers are intelligent people. They'll have worked it all out. Beautifully explained as well. Caleb Morpin, many thanks.